Hello and welcome. Today we are taking a look at the gauge cluster functions of the 2019 Ford Wdge Titanium. In this video, I'm going to walk you through all the functions and all the things within the gauge cluster screen of this Ford Wdge. So hopping inside here, see your gauge cluster is right here. Pretty expected. I'm going to go ahead and start the car. So, starting off on the left side over here, I have my home page here. Or I guess this is the main home page set displayed right here. So, starting with display mode, if I open that up, it'll show me an RPM gauge. So, as I accelerate, it'll show the RPMs, which makes sense. I can scroll down, and that'll change the display that was on the right side of this screen. It will change it from just being the fuel gauge to now being the fuel gauge plus a temperature gauge. Then, as I scroll down again, I will see my tire pressure monitor. So that'll tell me how much tire pressure is in each tire. Then I have a digital speedometer. And if I press OK, I can see it in kilometers an hour. Then I have my range, how far I can drive the car until it's empty. And then we're back to the RPM gauge. So now if I select back over here, you can see in the top corner there, it'll tell me which arrows I can click. See, there's an array of arrows on the steering wheel that I'm clicking. This is up, left, right, and down, and this is the OK, the select button. So as I'm scrolling through the menus, if it says press OK for this, then I'll press OK. But if it shows a certain arrow is lighter than the others, that's the arrow you can press, right? So there's nowhere to go up, there's nowhere to go up or to the left, so I can click to the right. It shows me if I click to the right there, it'll take me to a different screen. And this shows if I click up, it'll take me to a different screen. And if I click down, it'll take me to a different screen. And if I click to the left, it'll take me to a different screen. So, scrolling down, and see my tripometer here. I can hold OK to reset that. And then I have my second tripometer. Hold OK to reset that as well. Now, if I go down here to fuel economy, this shows me my auto start stop. So, if the outside temperature is too high, it'll say engine on due to exterior temperature, meaning if it turns off, it's too hot, it needs to run to keep the car cool. But this is just saying it's in normal operation, the engine's on. If the engine were to turn off, it would say off. So, if I were to deactivate the auto start stop system, that'll show up there, and it'll say deactivated by driver. But if I turn it back on, it'll say auto start stop activated by switch. So I can scroll down and I can see my fuel economy. This will show my average MPG. And then down there it says 127 miles to E. That means empty. That's how far, that's another display of range. And hold OK. To reset it, I can hold OK. I have an average speed monitor. That tells me my average speed of when I'm driving. And back to the auto start stop screen. So moving down here, I have my driver assist. So this car is equipped with blind spot monitoring. If I do not want that on, I can click OK and turn that off. It'll show down there that that system's been turned off. This car also has cross traffic alert. If I don't want that, I can turn that off. Same with the driver alert. The lane keeping system, however, has more settings to it. So if I click the arrow to go into there, I can see the mode. This allows me to switch between if I want it to alert me, only alert me, only say beep beep, you're going out of your lane. If I want it to aid me also, this will actually force the car back into the lane. It'll turn the wheel for you. Or if you want both. And this, you can adjust the intensity of the turn back or the chime. I also have settings for my pre-collision alert. I can adjust the sensitivity for it. I can have it normal, high, or low. And then I can turn off or on the active braking. And here I can turn on and off my rear parking assist. So going down into the settings, I can go into vehicle settings. Here I can turn on or off my vehicle engine start stop. And my easy entry exit is in here as well. I have more settings for my lighting. If I go in here, I can turn on or off the automatic high beams. And in here, I can adjust the duration that I want the headlights to stay on when I get out of the car. And here I can turn on or off my daytime running lights. Here I can adjust my door locks. This will turn on and off my keyless entry. My auto unlock, if it detects the key, it'll turn that on or off. And here you have your remote unlock. So if I want it to unlock all the doors when I use the key, it'll do that. But if I only want it to unlock the driver's door, I can select this and it'll do that as well. What the mist lock does is if any door is opened, the door's open, trunk's open, hood is open, and that would trigger the anti-theft system, the horn will chirp twice, but the hazard flashers won't. The switch inhibit function will disable these door locks here. So if you had to park with the window down for some reason, you could turn this on, and this will prevent these buttons from being usable. So, going down here, you can see this is a place where I can reset my oil life, or I could just see what the oil life is. And then I have my power liftgate settings. I can disable the switch or keep it enabled. I have my remote start settings here. So I can adjust when I remote start the car, if I want the climate controls to be on, I can put it to auto. So it'll just put it to whatever climate control it thinks would be the best. Or you can set it to last setting. That will make it to where it will adjust to whatever the air conditioning settings were the last time you were in the car. For the seats, it'll automatically adjust the seat to the driver's position of whatever number key you have, or you can tell it to not do that. And duration, you can have it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes. So if you haven't gotten in the car and actually started it after 15 minutes, 10 minutes, or 5 minutes, whichever you select, the car will shut off so you don't waste too much gas. And then this function here, if I do this, it'll just disable the whole function of the remote start. So if I were to do the key function to remote start the car, it wouldn't work. So I have some window settings here. The only thing this really allows you to adjust is the remote open. So it will prevent me from using the key to open the windows, which I can do by pressing the unlock button twice. That disables that function. But you have to hold it on the second time you press it. So here I can adjust my wipers, I can turn the rain sensing function off, and I can turn the courtesy wipe function off. And then that takes me back to the top of the vehicle settings list. So my key is actually, I can set up a key to the car, where this is similar to GM's teen driver mode. So within the my key, I can adjust how much I want the car to be able to do something. So if I hold OK, I don't want to mess with the owner's key here and adjust the settings to do something where it would confuse her. But if I do that, I can adjust a speed limit for the car, a volume limit, other things to sort of limit the uses of the car. And then in here, I have my display set up. So that's settings for this display here. So I can change the units to kilometers. I can change the temperature to Celsius. I can change the gauge display to, so this right now it shows just the fuel gauge, but if I click fuel plus tach, it'll show a tachometer. I'm gonna put it back to the, fuel gauge. Here I can change if I want the tire pressure to be measured in PSI, kPa, or bar. And then I can change the language from English to Spanish or French. So that's it for those settings in there. Down below I have an odometer, and that shows that the start-stop system is off. I have the buttons that'll this will show if my headlights are on, if my fog lights are on, all that stuff there. And my turn signals are displayed in there. I've got a speedometer with kilometers in the middle, located in the center. I've got what gear I'm in, reverse, neutral, drive, and sport. And then I have a screen off to the right. Now, this screen has much more limited functions. However, this screen is controlled by the arrows on this side of the steering wheel. The arrows do the same functions as they do on this side, just therefore this screen, not that one. Anyway, the screen over here will show, so here's the two different settings. I can go into entertainment, and I can see which radio station is playing. I can switch between AM, FM, and Sirius XM, and I can scroll through 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and AST, and 1 and AST. I can scroll down through my presets, and then I can go into my phone. If there's a phone connected, then I can do things with it there, but there's no phone connected right now, so that's where you would find that. Down below, it shows the outdoor temperature, which direction I'm facing, and what time it is. I have another one of those arrow things that shows me the directions I'm able to go, and which preset and radio I'm listening to currently. So that just about wraps up the video for the functions of the gauge cluster. If I missed anything, please leave a comment, and I'll do my best to answer any questions you may have. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.